Hello operators, and welcome to a long overdue installment of Stuff What I Have Dreamt and What I've Thought About It.
It's like a mediocre Socrates operation, mediocrities, yeah. Get it? It's a pun.
My housing issues are still not entirely sorted, but I figure we need to reboot this series sometime, so I'm going to finish off the topic that was started before our hiatus concerning dreams. James, in your video you mentioned Freud, and I too have studied some of his work on the subconscious. In fact, I wrote a pretty swanky essay last year about dream language. I would definitely say that the subconscious is a deeply complex and interesting part of any human individual, and I recognise its capacity to express or withhold truths about the self, our desires, our anxieties, etc. Freud's attempts to decode the language of dreams is, I think, his most fascinating and important work. The whole infantile penis envy and castration anxiety thing is another story, and I buy into that far less willingly. At the same time, I do not believe that every subconscious happening is an act of expression or concealment of truth. I do not believe that every dream is a coded message of some repressed desire. Sometimes a dream is just a dream, but that doesn't mean it is completely ignorable. From a personal perspective, dreaming certainly doesn't happen to me in the same way it's portrayed on television or in film, or indeed portrayed by the accounts of other people. I've heard some recall in vivid detail the mental happenings of their quiescence. I, on the other hand, cannot recall dreams vividly, nor indeed do I think I dream vividly. Dreaming seems to me to be a very hazy ordeal. My dreams usually don't take form as complete shapes or fully heard sounds. I see the outline of things, I hear sentences, but as soon as they're spoken they're gone. Everything is translucent and fleeting. In a similar way, I don't dream of places, at least not fully formed, as in Inception, where the dreamer is seen conjuring entire buildings and cityscapes in detail. I also don't get the impression that my mind conjures crowds of people. One or two images may overlap, but they don't necessarily interact. It's more like the images lead on from one another with a kind of loose internal logic. When I wake, I instantly forget everything about the dream. I've only on very few occasions remembered anything. More often than not, I struggle to work out whether I dreamt at all. I've heard some say that they can replay dreams like a movie in their head once they're awake, but I've never had that luxury. Dreams remain to me as elusive after waking as they seem in their actual happening. A part of me wishes that my dreams were more vivid. I'd certainly be curious to see what I could translate from them, but more so, I'd just like to know what kind of things I actually dream of. I mean, I can't even tell you if I dream in first or third person. I'd like to be able to remember speech, people, gestures, expressions, etc. I do, however, experience another type of dream. I call this the morning dream. It happens when I wake up and then I go back to sleep, or would effectively be referred to as snoozing. I can't say it's because I'm sleeping any lighter or any heavier than usual, but for some reason I find my dreams during this time, my morning dreams, to be far more vivid. I still struggle to remember them, but I recognise that the people and the objects are far more defined, and those objects are usually recognisable. More than once I found myself dreaming out my entire morning routine. The timeline is a little skewed, but I imagine getting up, going to the bathroom, going downstairs to get some breakfast, turning on the shower, etc, etc. I then have to face the almost imponderable exasperation of having to wake up and do the whole thing again, but slower. If all my dreams are as boring and frustrating as that, I don't think I want them to be more vivid. I'm going to finish by telling you about one dream that I do remember, albeit vaguely. When I was much younger, I once dreamt that I was in some kind of race in a giant bull pit. I'm not sure why, but I woke up in a frantic panic. I don't know if I got scared by getting lost or trapped underneath the surface, or maybe I just have a problem with bulls. In any case, it was one of those run to mummy and daddy for comfort childhood nightmares. Now, I tell you about this, 1, so I can make a bull joke, 2, because as I say, it's one of the very few I remember, and 3, because I was standing, crying with my parents, with them asking, what was it? What was it that scared you? And there was me, moments after being in my room panicked, with absolutely no idea. I remembered the dream, but I couldn't work out why it was scary. I think that goes some way to prove that dreams can be powerful and effective, even if the dreams themselves are ridiculous. I remain interested in the language and translation of unconscious thoughts and ideas, and I'm fascinated by their uncontrollable effect on us. I think that's it for this week. I'm not sure who's picking up the gauntlet next, but I hope that the operation will continue as scheduled from Monday. Till then, bears you. Oh, and I did post a bulletin a while ago setting the next hot potato challenge. I don't think anyone actually received that, so I'll set it again. Ethan, your next video, or the one after, is to be performed in the style of your all-time favourite operator. Oliver speaks like he's giving a lecture when he's just ordering takeout Cooper. That's right, you are to do an impression of me. Be as scathing and satirical as you like. I won't take it personally. Much.